public access television show. We're joined today by my friends. Nick Wright is playing bass. Dan Weber is here. He's going to tell stories. Thanks for coming, Dan. And Michael Zimmer and Craig McCarty are going to do some improv. Thank you for coming, gentlemen. Hey, Dan.
Yeah?
I'm going to ask you a story.
Okay.
While Nick plays music.
All right. You want it to be a relatively, how about a relatively sweet story?
Yeah, let's start on a positive note.
Okay, we'll try. In high school, I dated a lady who was like, she was a preacher's daughter, right? And it was cool. She was a nice lady, whatever. But the first time I ever met her family, I went over to their house to eat dinner. And before dinner, she told me that they had two rules. One, no one could eat unless the father was eating, and no one could speak unless her father had set his silverware down and said what he was going to say, and then other people could talk as long as the silverware was down. But as soon as he picked the silverware back up, conversation was over. So already I know that this is bad shit. Like, this is not normal, like, family shit, right? So I go there for dinner, and we're eating for a little while, and he puts his fork down, and he's like, Dan, I just want to tell you that I have a cadre of angels that follow me everywhere and protect me from harm. I can't be shot, stabbed, get in a car wreck, punched, nothing. I'm impervious to harm, and I just need you to know that. And then he picked up his knife and fork and started eating. And everybody else just went along as if he hadn't said the craziest thing anyone had ever heard. Like, that's insane. So we eat for a while, and I'm really puzzled. I'm concerned about this. Then he puts his fork down again, and he's like, another thing, I'm a pastor of a church, and if I find out that you've been making out with my daughter, I have the power to marry you on the spot. And then he picked up his knife and fork and started eating again. And I'm like 17, and I don't know what kind of superpowers preachers have, so I'm like, maybe. And man, I hope he doesn't find out what we've already been up to, because then we're getting married right now, right? So dinner is over, and my girlfriend and I are going to go study trigonometry in a room. And there's a wall, couch. We're studying here. There's another wall, open doorway, and then another couch and a TV. And they're right here. So we're sitting 2 feet away from this dude with just a little open, like a little bit of wall to protect him from seeing us and while we study. And so I'm touching my girlfriend. I'm rubbing my girlfriend's small of her back. It was the first. I was rubbing her neck, and it's like when you get your first girlfriend, you kind of always have your hands on them, you know, because you can't really believe it's real. Like, you're afraid she's gonna explode into a cloud of unicorn dust or whatever. So you're just trying to make sure, like, oh, this is not just a figment of my imagination like it was last year. Like, this is a real human. So I'm touching her a lot, and then she leans in, and she's like, you should go a little lower. And I'm like, well, all right. Like, I was touching your neck. That was skin on skin. That was nice, but I guess. So I just start rubbing the middle of her back. And then she leans in again and is like, no, down the front, right? Now, one thing you have to understand, I'm adopted, which means up until this point, I had never touched a human breast in my entire life. Like, this is going to be the first moment I ever lay hand on a human breast. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, like, in my head, I'm like, you know what? If this dude comes around this corner and sees me groping his daughter's tits, I'm getting married. Like, he just told me that's what's going to fucking happen. I'm like, but then I was like, you know what? If I get married, I bet I get to do this all the time, so I don't care, and I've heard good things. So I slide my hand down the front of her shirt, and at that moment, I went from somebody that had never had breasts in my hand once to somebody that wanted titties in my hand all the time. Like, they had undersold how fucking dope that was going to be. Like, it was fantastic. And we did that for a while, and nothing happened. Like, he just kept watching Matlock or whatever it was that they were watching. I don't care. But I just got to grope her tits in that room. And honestly, like, that was good enough. Like, just fondling her tits and making out with her in that room would have been great. But the fact that there was this danger of a life-altering event could happen at any moment, like, every little sound just made, like, everything was better just by that notion of guilt. You know what? I kind of like hooking up in public to this day, just for that reason. The danger of getting caught is so hot that it like makes everything better.
Thank you for that, Dan. Yeah, keep playing.
So proud of you, son. It's a wonderful day for your mother and I.
Yeah.
So glad you decided to do the right thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna marry her. I'm gonna start my life, Dad.
You brushed an ankle, and damn it, you're getting married.
Yeah, I didn't think this is how it would happen, but
You're so big now. You're a man.
yeah,
I accidentally bumped into your mother at the office.
yeah.
And we got married the very next morning.
Everybody loves that story.
Yeah, she was at the file cabinet. I was going for the water cooler. I had new shoes. You know the story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why when I saw Jane and I knew that if I reached out and brushed her lower leg with the front of my palm, that was it. And I think I'm ready.
I don't usually cry, but today's gonna be hard.
Oh, Dad. Hey, it's okay.
No, you're right. It's okay now. It's okay for me to cry. I can do that.
Yeah. You know,
I also never told you.
what?
I'm made of ever-replenishing candy.
I'm
You
sorry.
can bite off a finger. It tastes as sweet as syrup and sugar and molasses and chewy and
Oh.
everything. That finger would grow right back.
I'm afraid if I try a little, I won't be able to stop, Dad.
We got more important things to do. I just thought you might want to know that before you walk down the aisle. There's a chance that you'll be made entirely of candy too someday.
I was humoring you, but you can't be made of candy, Dad.
I am. Don't
Okay.
question your father. I'm waving the no questioning handkerchief.
Yeah, you always bring that out, but
You're questioning.
don't feel like you have to reach to just because it's my wedding day. You don't have to come up with some big reveal
It's
like.
always been true. I just never told you before because I'm not supposed to tell anyone
That you're-
unless it's their wedding
that
day.
you're completely made of candy,
Yes.
from your head to your toe.
Name
You
a
look like a
name
normal
a candy.
person. Oh, Henry.
That I'm made of some of that.
Dad, you're not made.
I am made entirely of candy. Why
Dad,
would you
you're
question
not
me?
made of
What-
candy.
What?
Unless you want to be, and then that's okay.
One doesn't get to choose what they're made of, son. You just gotta live your life.
See, you could have just said that. Like, that's good advice. You didn't have to.
That was my lead-in.
I know, okay. I think they're waiting.
Okay. Now, if you need to tap out or anything, just... That's what your best man's for.
All right. All right. If you try these Wendy's nuggets, I just want you to know that you're not going to want to eat anything else probably for the rest of your life.
Okay, James.
They're like a lot of people have had them. When you have them when you're younger, it's fine, but I feel like once you get to the point where you can control your own diet and
Yeah.
you're going to try these nuggets
Yeah.
and you're going to want them all the time.
I won't want them all the time. I want them now because you talked them up.
Yeah, no, I think everyone should try them, but it could lead to a certain lifestyle.
The nugget lifestyle.
Well, don't diminish it. Some people have a real problem. So,
Okay, I think.
so yeah.
Oh,
just-
now I'm really excited for these. These must be the most amazing tasting,
Yeah.
best textured. Just
They're really good.
oh, they're warm.
Yeah. Don't forget the barbecue sauce. though.
I won't. I'm just enjoying the squishiness of the texture. Just a little meat squeeze.
Yeah.
Which sauce? This spicy.
Yeah.
honey
try a little bit of each.
barbecue, hot mustard.
Okay, if you go all three, there's no going back, okay?
That is good. That's something special.
Okay.
Why didn't you tell me about these before?
Well, like I said, it's a risk.
I'd never eaten meat previous to today. This is
never eaten meat?
amazing.
Never eaten meat
No,
before?
never eaten meat. Only a strict grain and
Okay.
leafy vegetable
Well,
diet.
I'm just gonna.
Well, don't take them away from me.
Well, I just said you could try one. I didn't say you could have all of them.
I need them all. I need them
No.
all the time.
No, this is my
I wanna
lunch.
eat 'em.
I only
Give
have
me
another
the
5
damn
minutes.
nuggets,
No,
please. Please.
Dane, this isn't you. This is the nuggets.
It's me now. I'm made of nugget meat. I wasn't a nugget man before now, and now I am. Just let me. I won't eat one. I just wanted to hold one for a minute.
No, you're cut off. You're cut off, dude.
Come on. You
No,
really
you're
wanted,
cut off.
You gave them to me.
$20.
You knew this.
$20. Come on. So easy. So easy. You know, those are $1.
What?
Those are
What kind of crap is that? What kind of friend are you?
I'm a pusher. Dane, I'm a pusher.
And see, let's hear it reflect.
So it's the Christmas season, and one Christmas right after I graduated from high school, I worked at a place called Sizzler, which is a steakhouse the same way like Olive Garden is a Italian joint. Like it was terrible. Like the food was bad and the steaks were awful. And I worked. So I went to school, I went off to college, and then I came back for Christmas break, and I just decided I'd work at Sizzler for a little while to make some extra money. And we were going to be open on Christmas Eve, right? And like, you know, it was dead for the all day. So they just sent most everybody home. It was just me, the manager, 2 people on the floor, and then a dishwasher, 1 person working the salad bar. But that was not nearly enough for it to be busy, but there was only like 4 people in there. But what they had failed to account for was that our Sizzler was across the street from Beaverton Mall, right? And Beaverton Mall closed at 6, and Sizzler closed at 8, and there were no other restaurants open within a mile of Beaverton Mall. So every single motherfucker that was shopping at Beaverton Mall at 6:05 showed up at the Sizzler, and it was like, the Sizzler had this little rat maze he went through. That was full. There were people lined up all the way around the building. And it was as busy in that kitchen at 6:15 as I've ever seen any place be busy. Like I'd worked in restaurants for years. I've never seen anything like it. Like the ticket machine would normally just spit out a ticket every once in a while. It was like one of those old-timey stock market tickers where it's just like it was just like piling up. And we're like, I'm not even going to bother doing it ticket by ticket. We're just going to make 2 of everything on the menu, put it in the window, and you grab what you need and you get the hell out, right? And
Wait, so you're not making what people ordered? You're just making...
We're just making 2 of everything on the menu, and if you need it, you can take it. And if I see it up there that there's still 2 things, we don't make it again. We don't make it until we need one of those things because it's too busy. We literally had no way of keeping up. And everybody's on board with this. Everybody's like, listen, we're all in hell right now. This is the worst it's ever been or ever going to be. So let's just all band together and just get through this. All except for one fucking asshole named Jim, who was a server. And Jim stood in the fucking window, and my job was to like prep the plates and stuff, and there was a guy on the grill, right? So I'm standing there with a 10-inch razor blade, a chef knife, and I'm cutting up, cutting stuff and chopping things, preparing shit, and putting baked potatoes on things. And Jim's standing in the window, and the entire time He is yelling at me like, hurry up, you stupid little fuck. I'll come back there and beat your ass. And he does this. And this goes on for like 45 minutes. He's just constantly berating me on one side of my ear while the cook on the other side is constantly asking me questions. And I'm getting madder and madder. And I'm making the baked potatoes like more and more brutally, like basically cutting them in half after a while. And finally, because I have a temper problem, when I was 19, it was much worse than now. I just fucking snapped. And I reached through the window and I grabbed Jim by his bow tie and I pulled him halfway through the window and I put my knife to my throat and I said, call me a faggot one more time, Jim. And my manager...
You put your knife to...
Yeah, to Jim's throat.
Okay, yeah. You said your throat.
And I was like, I'm going to cut you ear to ear. I'm going to kill you if you say anything right now again, right? So my manager looks over, sees this, and he's like, Dan, you can't threaten to kill your coworkers, because he doesn't know what else to do. There's nothing in the management handbook that tells you how to handle this kind of event. And I turn around and I've lost it. Like I don't know if you've ever hit that rage blackout where you really don't know what you're doing, but you're like, it's like a movie and you're just watching your body do things to express its rage, but you don't really have any control anymore.
Wow,
and that's
no,
kind of what happened. I turn around, I just start waving the knife around like, what are you gonna do about it, you piece of shit? And he's like, whoa, and he's like trying to get away because I'm trying to, I'm not trying to hit him, I'm just trying to swing it around, like I'm just mad as hell. And finally I grab the knife and I jam it all the way through the cutting board, and then I bend the knife, and I'm like, hell yeah, man, this destroying things feels pretty damn good right now. So I grabbed a stack of plates and I smashed it against the wall. And my boss is like, you can't do that. And I'm like, you can't stop this. Fuck you. And I shove him out of the way. I go into the dish room and we had these bowls.
Holy shit.
They had these bowls that were in the salad bar, right? And they would put stuff in it, like nice crystalline bowl. And I'd seen one hit the ground, it break, and it kind of shatters, So I just took a grabbed stack of them. And I threw them against the wall above this other doorway, and it exploded. It looked like a Michael Bay movie, just like goosh, and it's just like crystalline shards, like scattered through the air. And I'm like, this is awesome. I hate everyone here. Fuck everyone. And I'm running around like people are trying to grab me and stop me, but I'm like managing to slip and get out of the way. I run into the server area, and they've got this like thing full of Texas toast that Sizzler would make with like sterno lamps, and I knock that off, and the sterno hits the ground, and it starts the ground like the puddle of fucking flaming sterno. Like, that's metal as shit, and I kick my way into the dining room. Now the manager is trying to chase me at this point, trying to stop me from what he knows I'm going to do next. Because across from the door, from the outside of the fucking server area, is the fire exit. And he sees me running towards the fire exit. He's like, no, like don't do it. It's like on slow motion, like, please stop. And I'm like, fuck you, man. And I kick the door open. The alarm goes off, like the lights go out, like woo, huge noise. And Sizzler is packed, right? And everybody looks at the door, and I turn around and I scream at the top of my lungs, any motherfucker that would eat at Sizzler on Christmas Eve is a pile of shit, and you should all light yourselves on fire. And then I walked down the street. I ran.
Wow.
So I got fired. I fired from that job. I got terminated from Sizzler. In fact, I got a letter from them saying that not only could I never work at Sizzler again, I could never enter a Sizzler again, which is kind of like a nice cherry on the top of that delicious fuck you sundae. Like, oh, I don't ever have to eat this shitty food ever again? Perfect, that's fine.
Wow.
So yeah, I got terminated. They kept the money that I'd earned, and I just called it even because they probably could have had me arrested. And on the whole, like I've never quit a job before like that or since, like I don't recommend it, but every once in a while, man, like you just gotta fucking let it go, like I had a lot of pent up rage, and honestly, the next day I woke up, I felt pretty goddamn good. Like I was scared, but I was like, you know what, this ain't bad. This ain't bad at all.
Morning, Spencer.
Morning.
Was there an earthquake or
No.
fire? The house looks really fucked up, man.
Yeah. Yeah, just, sometimes you gotta let it all out, you know?
My bookcases are on the floor.
Yeah.
There's a hole in that wall.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
Well, you know, that lottery numbers got drawn last night.
Yeah, you won. You totally won. We went to bed happy and
Lost the ticket, so I had to let some things out, okay?
oh man, I'm sorry. You should have woken me up. I could have helped. Oh, I know.
No,
I'm
I had to
really,
do it on my own. You can't help destroy things.
I slept through it, so obviously you weren't gonna wake me up. Whenever I take Valerian route, I'm just out.
Ah!
Oh, we're still going. Okay. Did you check your wallet?
Yeah, I checked everywhere. What do you think I tore the house apart for?
I don't know. I was asleep. I was unconscious, like really deep sleep. I was having amazing dreams.
I'm sorry.
Listen, it's somewhere here. We had it. We danced around
No,
the
it's
dining
gone.
room table holding
It's
it.
gone. It's gone. At some point it disappeared.
Spencer.
Nothing to do about it now except just set the damn place
Wait, no,
on fire.
no, it's somewhere in the house. Spencer. What are you doing, man? You won the lottery. You can't
No.
just burn it away just because you misplaced it.
No, you don't win the lottery if you don't have the ticket.
Your shirt pocket. Did you check your shirt pocket?
I checked my shirt pocket. Yeah, it's not there. It's
Right.
not in any of my pockets.
The Bible. Did you put it in the Bible?
Not in any
Okay.
clothing
All
I have.
Okay. This
Okay?
is kind of okay.
I checked all the folds and creases. I checked in my hair. I shaved it off.
You have a nice shaped head.
It's
That's
not.
something we learned.
It's never been nice. Okay?
On the contrary, I think it looks great. It looks like a head that helps find
Look,
things.
I'm gonna be looking for this for the rest of my life, so we gotta burn this down.
If it's here and you burn it down, it's gone forever.
I've already looked everywhere.
We can take every piece and move it. Everything off the property, one
No.
piece at a time. It'll be worth it.
I don't need a solution. I
Oh, so you just want me to
I need a
listen?
cleansing.
All right. Can I get my stuff out before you burn the place?
No, it might be in your stuff. It might be in you.
I don't know, like, where
Might be
this
in-
wait, get your hands off me, Spencer. I don't have a lottery ticket. Where? That was my switchblade.
All right.
Don't.
There's only
don't-
one place
don't-
left it could be.
No,
There's only
no,
one-
wait. I think I saw it. I
All
think
right. All right. So
it's
let's say grace.
okay. And this is how you I wasn't raised religious, so.
Yeah. So
Okay.
before we go to the salad bar,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
generally we say grace. So
Uncle Sam,
no. Father leads.
Father Sam.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to do grace. I was thanking you for raising me
Yes,
after
of
my
course.
parents died. I mean, for taking me in
Yes.
this Christmas
Yes.
and for taking me to such a wonderful restaurant.
Yes. We are very blessed to have the Sizzler.
I've never been to a place this big before. A restaurant. We ate at home.
It's very nice. We have many options for potatoes, and God has blessed us for surf and turf,
Yeah,
and
thanks.
so
Okay.
there's
So, no one else is going to hold our hands, just you and I?
it's just you and I.
Should we close the circle? Is it a magical conduit or?
No.
Okay.
Just you and I here together on Christmas Eve. It's here that we remember Jesus. And
Oh, I thought you were going to say Phyllis and Jason, my parents, having recently been taken from us too soon.
yes, well,
Oh, Jesus, okay. Jesus, yep. Thank you.
yeah. There's a certain ritual to coming to Sizzler. I don't want to deviate, so
Yeah, we wouldn't want to upset the way your life's going.
yeah.
Any more than you've been impositioned by taking me in.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So go ahead.
Lord Jesus Christ, bless us this day, the day of your birth. May we have as many loaded potatoes as we can get from the salad bar. May the fixings be everlasting. May we have room for a milkshake at the end of the meal.
Yeah.
And may our server never look us in the eye. Amen.
Amen. Can.
Oh,
this- Okay.
It's the rest of the meal.
Okay.
Yes.
That's not. So. This is Jesus' actual birthday?
This is Jesus' actual birthday. He celebrated it at what would have been the equivalent of a Sizzler.
Did they sing to him when they found out?
That it was his birthday?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Can we let the people here know and they'll have to sing?
Yes?
I mean, he's not with us. I mean, he's with us, but not corporeally.
Correct.
Yeah.
But we still make the servers sing for his birthday.
They'd probably love that.
They do.
I'd love it.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday. You're the
lucky Lord's birthday.
You've traveled so far. Happy birthday, Jesus.
You had choice of a fudge sundae or a loaded potato.
Fudge or potato, 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 fudge or potato,
Okay, Dan, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Let me,
Let's see, something quick.
well, let's see. I'm just wondering if we can talk about, I want to talk about what you brought up before we move on to something else.
What brought up what?
Like, I guess the rage catharsis where you broke Sizzlers.
Yeah, I didn't break the whole place. Like they cleaned it up. They didn't shut down for long. The Sterno fire apparently got put out real quick.
Uh-huh.
And I only broke plates and shit. Like they had lots of extras. I didn't break the restaurant. I did clear out the dining area on my way out. A lot of people didn't appreciate being told they should light on fire on Christmas Eve. But
Yeah.
I think there was an internalized guilt for everyone in there. Like, man, this is Christmas Eve. What the fuck are we doing in a Sizzler? And then when I voiced it, they were like, he's right. Let's get the fuck out of here. And also, the service was terrible before then. I mean, people were like waiting an hour to eat. Like, it was insane. So
Yeah, you put an end to the nightmare.
I did. I think I put a stake in that vampire's heart. And then 6 months later, they found out they were selling E. coli shit to everybody. A bunch of people got really sick, and then Sizzler vanished. So honestly, like, it hasn't hurt me at all.
That was the end of Sizzler.
6 months, 9 months later is when the first E. coli thing went down, and then they took a huge hit. So they're gone. You can still see like a couple of it. There used to be one on 82nd, and it closed a couple years ago. But they're gross. They're a terrible place. So good riddance to Sizzler. And honestly, a second thing, I did actually work at a Sizzler again, like 5 years later. Like, they don't have a fucking database of everybody that had ever done it, because they didn't have databases in 1980, 88. Like, that wasn't even possible, really. So they would have had to have my picture in every single Sizzler across the country, and nobody's going to remember. So I got a job at a Sizzler in Eugene, Oregon, like 4 years later.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, isn't it?
You almost murdered a Sizzler coworker.
I mean, look, yeah, I did. I'm not going to lie about it. I put a knife to a man's throat and threatened to kill him, that's for sure.
I mean, he pushed you. I want to be clear that he pushed you.
He did.
He
you
was
know
rude.
what?
He was inconsiderate. You were doing your best, and he was being a jerk.
We were all in the shit, man. Like, and like, I don't know. Like, at a certain point, like, it would be like, this is not, like, if you're in a foxhole with the rest of the troops, and bombs are falling everywhere, and everybody's stressed out, and then one guy is sitting there like, you guys are all a bunch of pussies. Eventually, that dude's getting shot, and and no one else was be like, I didn't see shit, man. I don't know how. Just a bullet happened, Like, don't be an asshole in a position where everybody else is under a lot of stress. Eventually, someone's gonna fucking snap.
Yeah, I think that's good advice moving forward.
And literally,
in
like,
America.
And I look like somebody that would snap. Like, it's not like you look at me and you're like, that guy looks like he's calm under pressure. It's like, no, when things get really crazy, let's just leave that motherfucker alone. Let's just let him do his thing. But don't yell racial slurs. Like, racial slurs. He was calling me all kinds of shit. Like, that, literally not true.
Huh.
Homophobic slurs, all kinds.
He snapped, but in like a way that's inexcusable.
He just kept yelling.
I wonder, so who was this guy before he became the villain of this story?
He was just a server at Sizzler that, I kind of knew, but never, I mean, I didn't really like him beforehand. Like, he wasn't like the coolest guy I'd ever met, and all of a sudden Jim changed, overnight. Like, he was a dick. But, whatever. Like, he's a dick in small doses, so who gives a shit, right? Like, I don't care.
Yeah, and then under the extreme pressure of the worst Christmas ever.
Yeah. And my manager's standing right there. He could have put a stop to it at any time. Like, I'm literally telling you, he yelled at me for 45 minutes straight. It wasn't just like, hey, and then I snapped. It was like constant. And I was 19. I didn't really have enough confidence at the time to be like, dude, chill out. Like, now, if that happened and it was like 4 minutes in or whatever, I'd be like, dude, you need to calm down.
Right.
I'm not going to tolerate this. I would have just walked off. I just left. I mean, like, you either calm down or I'm leaving. So, but that's not what happened. At 19, I didn't have enough, I would just bottle shit up
Right.
until like blam, and then
Wow. So do you think you learned something from this? Is that one of them? Like, can we lay the credit for you learning how to stand up to shut people down earlier?
oh no,
Based on
no,
that?
not at all.
No,
That's
there's
not
still. Yep.
I didn't learn any lessons from that event, other than if you throw in a giant stack of glass bowls at a wall, it looks dope as hell when it blows up. Like that. That is a very cool lesson to learn. That and if you put a knife to somebody's throat, they will shut the fuck up. That's a little something you might not know. Like, you put a very sharp object next to somebody's jugular vein, they're not going to talk anymore. Like, it turns out they're listening now. Because like they may not listen prior to that, but they definitely have your full attention right after that. Now, I'm not recommending it, but
In this
it's a little-
particular.
it's a little something you can take away. Like, if you want to, how do you get somebody's attention? Knife point is a surefire way to get somebody's attention. Not a good way. Usually you ended up arrested. But I think honestly everything that happened after that kind of overshadowed the fact that I had threatened my coworker's life. So maybe if you're going to threaten your coworker's life, do something extra bad shit, and everybody's like, I just don't even want to see this kid again.
Yeah, you burned it down.
I didn't burn it down. I didn't destroy the place.
No, I know.
I'd be
Like,
in jail. I would have
more-
gone to jail for that.
More like a figuratively.
Yeah.
You figuratively burned it down.
Yeah, I mean, sterno is not like,
Right. I didn't mean the fire, the literal fire. I
Oh.
meant
yeah.
the scene. The
Yeah.
scene that must have been laid before them all as you left. Like
Right.
they probably forgot about how it all.
How it all started. I mean, maybe Jim didn't. I don't know. I never saw that guy again.
I wonder if he stopped working at Sizzler too.
I don't know. Like, I was thinking about this a while back because I've got lots of stories where I did something kind of fucking crazy and awful, and then just walked away from the scene, and then kind of forgot about it. Like, but I was wondering, like, how many events in my misspent youth went down that like families remember around the time that it happened, but to me I don't care because it just like it was just another thing that I did, but to them it's like it's the craziest shit that's ever happened to our family. Like, I broke into a house once to make myself a ham sandwich when I was high on acid, and I left the mayonnaise out on the counter. I remember that like 3 hours later. And I'm like, I just wonder, like this family, they were at a suburban area in Bend, Oregon. Nothing had probably ever happened to them. They come home one day and there's a bunch of ham and turkey sitting out on the counter. And maybe they just got in an argument about somebody leaving the ham and turkey out, or the ham and mayonnaise. But maybe they were all like, no, man, we all left at the same time. That wasn't out there when we left. What the fuck? And then they look around and the glass door is a little bit open in the back. And they're like, son of a bitch, what the fuck? And then they spend the rest of their lives trying to figure out what else got stolen, but nothing. I didn't want anything from them but a meal,
Yeah, that's the story I was looking for.
And I wonder, like, do these people think about that, like, around that time in the summer? Like, hey, do you remember that time some ghost came in and fucking made himself a ham sandwich and then left, Or the time, or the time I convinced a kid, this dumb hillbilly, to graffiti his name on the wall of the main building at Central Oregon Community College.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Won't I get caught?" I'm like, "Nah, dude." And then he bought it. Like, he had spray paint. I was super drunk and I did not expect him to do it. And I hated this guy. And he's like, "Man, I want to fuck shit up." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I get it." And he's like, "What should I do?" And I'm like, "Why don't you spray paint your full name on the main building of the main office of Central Oregon Community College?" And he's like, "You think I'll get caught?" And I was like, "Nah, dude." And then he did it. And I was like, yes. Fuck yes. You dumb hillbilly.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Now, I have trouble blaming you for your behavior in that story.
No.
Because
He did it to himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like, you're kind of the villain, but like...
A lot of my stories when I'm in my younger life, I'm never the hero.
But he's definitely
He's the dumbass,
yeah.
sure. Like, he might be the protagonist, but it's in like a satire of life. Like, if he's the protagonist of the story, it's like a gathering of dunces or whatever, that like just an idiot that You know, I'm sure he's in prison now, not for that, but like other things.
Because somebody less nice than you convinced him to do something a whole lot worse than writing his name on the wall.
Yeah,
Basically,
for sure.
If
Like
he's
he was
gonna-
a part of this group of statute of limitations are only 7 years on most crimes in Oregon, which is fucking fantastic. So anyway, he was part of a group of people that would go around thieving in Bend. And one night, my buddy and I were on acid, and we were hanging out. I did a lot of acid when I was younger, like a lot. So we're hanging out, we're getting high as fuck. And they show up and they're like, "Hey guys, you want to go thieving?" And we're like, "Fuck yeah, that sounds hilarious. Let's go with this group." It's like if the three Stooges thought they were like a criminal organization, like they were just dumb, and they would just do stupid shit, and they were for sure getting caught. And I wanted to be there when it happened. I wanted to see it, right? Now, you probably have already thought of the glaring flaw in my plan, where I thought if they got busted for robbing a place and I was just chilling outside high on acid, like I literally thought this. When the cops show up, they're like, "Nah, man, I'm on acid. I was just watching." Like, that's not going to be an alibi. Like, I'm going to jail too. But that didn't occur to me until much later on
I
in
blame
the story.
TV for that one.
Yeah, I
right?
don't know. Anyway. So we go out into the suburbs area of Bend, the three of these idiots, myself and this other guy that I'm going with, who is now a fireman in, I'm not going to say the name of the place. Anyway, respectable part of the community, right? So we're in the car, and we're driving down, and I was like, "You guys are master thieves, right?" And this one guy sitting next to me is like, "Yeah, man, I'm a master thief." I'm like, "How do you know?" And he's like, "Man, I've been arrested in Missouri 5 times for theft." And I was like, "Well, that makes you a shitty thief, doesn't it? Like, a master thief never gets caught. Like, that's how you know you're a master thief. You have all this shit, and then you don't ever get busted." And this guy's like, "That's not how it works." And I was like, "All right, you're the best. So let's watch this happen." This is going to make me sound like a real asshole, by the way, this story. Do not like who I was in my early 20s. So just FYI, I am the villain in this story. So we end up driving out into a suburban part of Bend. And there's this one house like sitting off by itself, huge house, beautiful. And they're like, "Man, we should break into there, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do that. But, we got to make sure nobody's home." They're like, "Okay, how do we do that?" I'm like, "I have an idea. Why don't we drive around in their front yard for a minute and then pull out, and if nobody comes out, nobody's home." And they're like, "Oh, good thinking." Like at any time somebody could have said, "That sounds like the worst idea ever." Like, just make a scene, and then if nobody gets up, then you're clearly in the clear. So we drove around in their front yard. It was a big front yard, by the way. It wasn't small. It was big, out in the country. Drove back out. They get out of the car. And my buddy is like, "Man, I'm not convinced. They might still be. Maybe they're heavy sleepers. We don't know." And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe." So what you should do? You should pelt the roof of their house with rocks. Then, if nobody wakes up, for sure, nobody's up. Nobody's there. They're like, "Fuck yeah, let's do this." I'm like, "Are you kidding?" It felt like I could have told them to do anything and they would have done it. It felt like this weird supernatural power I had. I had a bunch of idiot puppets. So they threw rocks at the house for a while. Nobody gets up. Finally, they're like, "All right, let's do this." We pull off into this road, odd side road. They get out of the car. A cop car goes blasting by towards this house because clearly somebody was fucking home or one of their neighbors saw it because it wasn't totally isolated. Blasting down the street, all his lights off. And that was the first moment where I realized if the cops catch us, I'm going to jail too. I'm like, "We gotta go!" And then everybody's like, "Okay." Like, I still had that weird mythical power over them. I could just tell them to do things and they would do it. So I just like, "Yeah, let's drive home and just keep the lights off." So we drove down the street with all the lights off and got away scot-free. No punishment there. There's no real moral to that story other than like, that's another family that I wonder, like, do they remember that? Is that an event in their lives where they were like, "We were under siege like for an hour of people doing crazy shit outside of our fucking house"? Like, I don't know. Like, did I ruin somebody's life that night? Or did they just be like, "Yeah, fuck, whatever, man." Like, nothing got broke really. They might have had to redo the front yard a little bit, but we didn't run over anything very important. And nobody broke in. They didn't actually get in. They never even got close to breaking into the house. But I know that makes me sound like a villain, and I get it. I didn't give a shit about anything. I don't know, like I was a nihilist at the age of 20. Like nothing mattered. So I'm like, let's just do whatever we want. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of a punk, but not really. Like I didn't, without the music or the skateboard. I grew up in Tillamook, so I didn't know how to skate, and the music had not been introduced to me yet. I listened to Slayer, so I guess that's close. But in any case, yeah. I think I altered a family's life forever, but I don't really know, and I'll never find out, or if I do, it'll probably be when I tell this story on stage in another place, and somebody's going to come out of the crowd, just punch my ass in the face. And if they do that, I'm going to be like, you know what, I fucking earned that 25 years ago. I'm cool with it. Like, if somebody comes out and just fucking slaps me across the face like, that was my house, motherfucker, I'll be like, yeah, man, I earned it. I get it.
Huh.
You fucking, I deserve that for sure. Because nothing ever happened. I never got arrested once for any of the shit I did.
That makes me, I'm going to, for the rest of the day, I'm going to worry about being punished for, like, the worst thing I did, like, 30 years ago.
I'm going to guess, Eric, I know you a little bit. The worst thing was what, like cheating on a geometry test? Or maybe you like stole the candy bar once? Like, like it's not even, I didn't even tell you the top 10 worst things I've done in my early 20s at any time during any of these stories.
Yeah, no.
So like this is like, you.
That's a good point, but still, like, you could still, like, be called to account for the people you wronged when you were a different person. When you.
Oh yeah.
That's
for sure.
That's something I'm gonna take with me now. Like the sins of the father.
Yeah, except you're the father.
But
like you're the father of your own idiot older person. Like it's dumb. Like your younger self is like you're responsible for the shit your idiot self did.
Yeah.
But you're like, I wouldn't do that now, but it doesn't matter. Like I learned anyway. It's not. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not fair, but it sucks. Like you have to live with the fact that you were such a moron when you were younger that, you did shit you can't ever fucking make up for.
Andrew, you haven't been the same since the bird feeder went missing. You have to let it go.
It was there and then it's gone.
I know, but that was 10 years ago.
Those birds, they probably starved that winter.
They might have, but listen, we looked for the bird feeder as long as we could, and
I just feel like something cosmic happened. Like there was a rift in time and space and it just tore open and in went the bird feeder. It was important.
it was probably just some kids messing around. You gotta let
Nobody
it go.
does that. Who would do that? That's so cruel.
A lot of things happen without a reason, Andrew. You have
Everything's... That's not true. Like this jacket. I bought this jacket because it brings out my eyes. Or this stuffed animal. We won it in the fair because 3 balls went into the little hole and the guy gave it to us from the shelf for doing that.
Yeah.
Those all had reasons.
Yeah, that's all true. That's all true. Well, I'm just saying, take down the billboard.
Oh, I gotta know, have you seen our bird feeder? Do you know anyone who knows anything about it?
We haven't received any tips in years.
Maybe we need a new phone number. Maybe they forgot the phone number. Or we could add lights to the billboard. Lights.
Andrew, you aren't listening to me. It's gone. The bird feeder's gone. Okay?
I don't know if I can trust this world anymore.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Yeah. If a bird feeder's gone, then what's the point in me being here?
Here, why don't I make you a sandwich?
Good, because I'm really high on acid right now and I could use a sandwich.
Did you leave the mayonnaise out?
No. I think it's haunted. The kitchen is haunted. The bird feeder was outside of the window of this kitchen.
Oh no, I left the mayonnaise. That's right.
Don't do that to me. It's like you're just manipulating me, pulling my strings, getting me to believe things that aren't true, like that mayonnaise has been left out
No, I would
you put it there.
never put ideas in your head like that. I would never.
what ideas, which ones would you put in my head?
I'm not saying I did. But why don't you go? Just go for a drive. Just go for a nice, relaxing drive.
Okay, that's a good idea in my state.
Take your paintball gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
You can always shoot at whatever
Yeah.
people you pass by.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Maybe I could go burgling and make more sandwiches.
There you go.
You don't want to mess with me.
No,
No, you know why I'm in here?
I don't care, man.
I'm a master embezzler.
Cool.
You know what that is?
You like take money and steal from people by like
move it
moving money?
around.
Yeah,
move it
sure.
around, yeah. I did a lot of that. Did a lot of insider trading. I let everybody know about it. That's why I'm here now. I'd do it again. As soon as I'm out,
Yeah, you
doing
were
it
in the
again.
news.
Yeah,
You
you
confessed.
recognize me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
this is
can-
the face of a master.
You confessed it all on live TV.
Yeah, because that's how good I am. I am proud of my achievements.
Yeah, you got like millions.
Uh-huh.
And then you told everyone about it.
Yep. Yep.
You know, here in prison, we don't like to brag a lot. It gets you in trouble.
Yeah, that's what I like.
It's
You
best
know,
just to-
when I get out,
What?
I'm gonna go to work for the Fed. Yep. I'm gonna chair the Fed. And I'm really gonna mess stuff up.
Look, you don't want to talk like that in prison, man. People keep a low profile, okay?
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You know so much, what'd you do?
I don't tell people what I did, man.
Oh, come on, you can tell me. I won't tell anyone.
No.
Or I'll tell everyone.
Yeah, you got a big mouth, man.
Yeah.
It's a good way to
My
get
mouth
killed.
is huge. I can put 40 hot dogs in my mouth. 40.
Okay, nobody can put 40 hot dogs in their mouth.
I
That's
won the
crazy.
ribbon. That ribbon. I brought it in
Really?
here with me.
They let you bring that in?
Yeah. I bribed the guard with embezzlement money because I'm a master.
I don't believe anyone
That's a-
can fit 40 hot dogs in their mouth.
That's. You want to see the picture? Why do you think I keep this Guinness Book of World Records 1988?
Thought that was the only book we had.
It's the only book that counts.
That's a lot of hot
Of course,
dogs.
some guy beat me since because I'm in here and they don't let me have hot dogs in here. Brutal.
No.
So come on. What'd you do? What are you a master at?
You know what I did?
No.
I'm a master thief. I've got paintings, classic paintings hidden all over the country. I've been into many museums and I've stolen them. They only caught me for one. There are hundreds. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, like where? Where'd you hide them?
I'm not gonna tell you where I
Why
hid them.
not? I'm in here.
I'm not gonna
I
tell
can't do
any.
anything. Like in the bathroom or in a
No.
library or
No.
in a secret vault. Thrift stores. I heard about people buying famous paintings in thrift stores. Maybe that was you. You hid one there, thinking you'd come back because no one would ever buy a famous painting in
No.
a thrift store.
No.
And then they buy it and it's worth millions.
No.
And then
No.
they want to invest in some really good property. That's a huge kitchen knife. How'd you get that in here?
Why are you still talking?
I got a talking problem.
There's a knife at your throat and you're
I know.
still talking.
I got a big mouth.
I will cut you if you tell anyone.
So that's
No, that's not what.
that's what happened. That's where it is.
No!
Did you put that in your ass? Is that how you got that in here?
That's how we get anything in here. You want hot dogs?
Yeah.
Thank you.